Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another episode of There's God for That. Happy Resurrection Sunday. I am your host, comedian Stacey Anderson, and this is my co-host.
Queen B. Hey, everyone.
Yes. Hello, everyone. Before
Mhm.
we start, let's kick off with the mantra and get right into it. If you knew better, no, yes. If you knew better, you do better. Never let the devil steal your joy. Remember, it can always be worse. Live your super best life, and everything you do, choose to walk in righteousness every day. Put on the full armor of the Most High. Stay out of God's way. May God's will be done in everyone's life. Always choose righteousness, and always choose to walk in that purpose that God has put out there for you to walk in. Yes. All right. Yeah.
Amen. Hallelujah.
Yes. Look here. I don't know. I thought I was saying it all kinds of wrong. But anyway,
Girl,
happy
you worked it out.
resurrection. I know. I got it together. Happy Resurrection Sunday, Queen B. How has your day been going?
My day, it's been going good. Just relaxing and chilling. And yeah, just trying to get myself mentally and physically prepared for the upcoming new week. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Just a ordinary day, and happy Easter to everyone. And I just pray that all you guys had a blessed day as far. And how was
Yeah.
your day so far?
Well, I'm working today. Not complaining,
Hmm.
not complaining. Gotta make them ducats. And
Right.
other than that, it's kind of cloudy today, but I was able to play a little bit. I was able to, get my dinner for today. So I'm good. My day is good. I'm just working
Okay.
and
What
everything
you
else is
cooking
set in place.
today?
So what?
What you cooking for dinner tonight? Can I come over?
Oh,
No.
you start. Look, come on. I got some chicken and some rice. So come on over. We got some chicken and some rice. That's it with little
Oh,
vegetables in there. Something healthy, not too much,
yeah.
not doing too much, So yeah, I'll send you a plate through the mail.
Okay.
All right,
Yes.
everyone. We want to say thank y'all so much for joining us. We thank you for all new members who have subscribed. We are so grateful to you all. And we're loving doing this, helping everyone. So with that said, if y'all were able to see the last episode that dropped, we left with the cliffhanger for topic that we're going to discuss today. And it was Queen Bee's topic, and it was juicy. I keep saying it was juicy,
Hmm.
girl. It was juicy because I've never heard nobody really discuss this. So I'm just going to title it Gender Roles. And Queen Bee, I'm going to let you go ahead and start again, just in case for anybody who didn't see the last episode to know what you talking about. Gender roles.
All right. So, basically gender roles. So what does that mean? It it means, okay, so this let me just pose the question like I did in the last episode.
Yeah,
So the
yeah.
question is, okay, do you think a man and a woman they have their role in a relationship? Meaning, the man, he has his, how can I say it? He has his job or his role in the relationship, and the woman has her job or role in the relationship. I hope that makes sense. And I'm
You
gonna
mean
give you an example.
traditional? Like traditional
Yeah, like
roles. Like,
yeah, like the traditional roles, like like the man, he's the one that's expected to go out and work and bring home the money, and the woman is expected to stay at home and cook and clean and make sure the home is taken care of. So the question is, do you think that is do you agree basically? That's the question to you guys that's watching, and please answer the question down below in the comments. I'm going to answer the question. I believe that there's no gender roles at all in any relationship, any marriages or whatever. I believe that everyone, well, as far as a marriage or being in a relationship, I believe we are on the same team, right? And so what my husband can do, I can do. What I can do, he can do. It's all about working together so we both can make it to the top. So I feel like we both can get in the mud and get dirty, because everything starts from the ground up. So I don't agree with that old ways of thinking. Um, and personally, I think that's just, you know, I guess this is the old way of thinking. And we're in 2026. We're in a whole totally generation. And like you said, in the last episode, this generation here is just flipping everything around, as far as like the man, because nowadays you'll see, families where like you said, the father will be the one that stay at home with the kids and go to the basketball games and, football games and stuff like that. Whereas the woman goes out and she's the one that has a career and bringing the money home. I believe whatever works for your family is what I suggest that you do. Whatever works for your family, you should do. I don't believe in, doing what the world says is what's right. You know what I mean? So, because at the end of the day, you got to live with that person. That person got to live with you, and y'all have to come together and be in agreement on how, you're going to make this family work, So, what is your opinion on this?
Well, I feel like, well, I must admit, excuse me, I must admit, at first, I really thought I believed those traditional roles. I thought that's just how it was because that's what I always was told. That's what I seen on
Right.
TV. That's how it was portrayed in books everywhere. I was brainwashed to believe in that. And when I got into a serious relationship, when I got with my husband, like, first off, ladies and gentlemen, do not just get when you get with someone who you feel might be your person, your forever person, when you're courting, when you're dating, don't it takes time. I'm gonna say that it takes time to see what each other's strengths are in y'all's relationship. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And once you get that down, that's when roles can be chosen. And roles are not necessarily set in stone. But if you know he better cooking than you are, relinquish those reins and let him cook. If he likes to cook, let him cook. If he doesn't like to cook, but he's a better cook than you, then let him give you the recipe. I had to learn that. Let him give you the because I could not cook for my
time, like
husband.
you said.
Yeah, time. I didn't know. I had no clue because I was thinking like I gotta cook. So I would be stressed out, going on Pinterest, trying to find all these recipes, messing up meals, wondering why no one's eating because it don't taste good. Because I don't know what I'm doing. And like I'm feeling frustrated when I could have just asked him and he would have gladly taken the reins and came in and cooked. And that's what we do now. Sometimes I cook, more times he cooks. You know what I'm saying? So I now no longer believe in traditional gender roles. I rather just like Queen Bee said, whatever works for you. You have to find what works for you, what works for y'all, for your relationship. And yeah, sometimes the man wants to be a stay-at-home dad. He does the kids' hair. He goes to the daughter's dance recitals, and he gets his nails painted. He does princess tea parties with her. And mom might not be that person. And she's the one out there, like you said, bringing home the bacon, doing the setting up, doing all the bills and all that, setting everything over. That's her role. Maybe she's just better at that and he's better at that. And nobody should like demonize nobody for it. And don't take it outside of your house. Keep your business in your house. Because somebody else, yes, I'm gonna say it again. Keep your business in your house. Because imagine you tell your mama that your husband is doing the baby's hair, and she gonna be, what? What kind of man is that? Don't do it.
Right.
Well, what
kind of man is that? Respectfully, that's my man, and that's what works for. Again, that's what works for our family. And not. I'm sorry to cut you off, but it is very important to keep your marital business in your household. You know what I mean? Especially, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to family. Because, like you said, they're going to be looking like, well, what kind of man is this? Listen, at the end of the day, if my career took off, you know what I'm saying, where it's bringing in the money to make sure the bills is paid and we can live the life that we choose to or we want to, and I'm okay with it, then I don't see what the issue is. Like, why you on the outside have a problem what we doing that what works for us. You know what I mean? I know a lot of people in this now, okay, that the woman is out there working and the man stay at home, and it works. You know what I mean? It works. And I
Yeah.
like what you said too, like find your strengths in your relationship. Like you said, it took you a while to learn it, you know what I mean? Because like you said, like it, I thought the same thing too, like the old traditions, like that's the way it's supposed to be. And it's like, no, as you get older, as I know, as I get older in relationships that I've been in, it's just like, no, I don't have to be the one to be at home cooking. You know what I'm saying? My husband can be at home cooking. Or like you said, he might be stronger in this area, you know what I mean? And I might be stronger in this area. So you handle that and I handle that. And that's how it comes together. You know what I mean? We
Mhm.
can't be too big of headed or have an ego and like, oh no, 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 because we are afraid of, you know what I'm saying, being embarrassed or looking like we you know what I'm saying, like we don't know what we're doing or whatever the case may be. So the whole point is, yes, keep your marriage business in your household. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you guys decide, what works for y'all, that's what you do. And you keep God in the middle of everything that you do, you know? So yeah, I'm
Yes.
sorry because you're a girl. I was like, yeah, keep that could be a whole nother
No.
topic. Okay.
That's a whole nother topic. Write it down. Yes. And like Queen Bee
Mhm.
said, keep God in it. There's God for that. Don't be embarrassed. Don't be ashamed. Don't feel, oh my gosh, I'm not worthy. I'm not good enough for my mate because I can't this, that, and the third that I feel I
Mhm.
was told I'm supposed to be good at. You know what I'm saying? Go to God for that. And then bring it to your mate. You know what I'm saying? And be vulnerable. That's the only way you're going
Mhm.
to learn. That's the only way you're going to grow. And that'll cleave you together tighter. Because, when
Mhm.
you act like you perfect, then he don't think he can do anything to help you or vice versa. You feel like, where do I fit to be able to tell him I don't want to embarrass myself and look like I can't. And it's like, can't nobody do everything. So stop trying to be
Right.
fake. Stop trying to be perfect. Take it to God to soften you and to, strengthen you to not be embarrassed. I don't know if you can be
Mhm.
strengthened to not be embarrassed, or at least to take that shame off of you and just let you be vulnerable. It's okay. Like everybody
Bingo.
can't do everything.
Mhm.
It's all right. And
Mhm.
girl,
Mhm.
I'm gonna tell you, my husband, he be making jokes and all, but he's like, I'm gonna tell my mama you can't cook, and then I'm over here losing weight. I said, don't do that. Trying to make it, but I'm learning how to cook. But that's just a joke because he's the one who cooks. But he's
Right.
like, I'm losing weight. I'm gonna tell my mama you can't. I'm like, stop playing. But it's just jokes, because his mama could cook really good.
Right.
But I'm still not ashamed at all that I'm not. That's not my strong suit. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. It's
Right.
okay. So yes, y'all, take it
Right.
to God
Right.
and be vulnerable. It's okay. So yeah, that was a good
Right.
topic. That was a good
Yes,
topic.
ma'am. Yes,
I
yes.
never
Short and sweet.
Short and sweet. I don't never hear nobody talk about stuff like that though. Do you? I don't really hear nobody talking about that. Really, I don't. So
No, because I haven't either, and I believe it's because of like you said, and like I felt the same way too until I learned to think differently, because being in relationships and having the experience, like no, I don't have to do what other people do. You know what I mean? Like yes, I used to think, like I said, I used to think the same thing. The woman's supposed to do this, the man's supposed to do that, and it's like nah, we gonna do what works for us. And I think what I'm sorry, I got off track. I think people don't talk about it because of like what you said. Like if I was to tell my mother or tell my sister or whoever, and they be like, oh well, what kind of husband is that? You know what I mean? People don't want to touch on those type of topics because they are so strong headed on believing, what I'm saying, how it used to be. And it's like, they want to try to belittle, what I'm saying, your husband or
yeah,
even you. It's like, people don't want to touch on those subjects, but I'm willing to touch on those subjects because at the end of the day, you know, I don't care what a next person think or feel. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not gonna be disrespectful, but like I said, I do what works for me and my husband. You know what I mean? And you gotta do the same
mhm,
for you because we gotta live with each other. I'm gonna tell you this, right? Before me and my husband got married, right? He asked his mother, what I'm saying? I guess he went to her to tell her, he feels like, I'm the one and he wants to marry me. And so I guess he was asking her, opinion. And I could respect her answer. You know what I mean? Because anybody else, any other mother probably would have said something different. And she was like, you gotta live with her. You got to be with her. You know what I mean? So it's your decision. Exactly. So we gotta live with each other. Baby, we gonna do what works for us because we don't want to be at odds every day. We don't want to be mad at each other every day. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to feel frustrated because, my husband's career didn't pop off, but mine's did. You know what I'm saying? So let's do what makes sense. Okay. I'm
Yeah,
gonna go make this money and you stay home with the kids. I'm okay with that. As long as we good and we do, you know what I'm saying, we play our part or we do our part, I'm okay with it. I really
yeah.
am.
No, that
So
is
yeah.
the best. Yeah, that's good. Yep. You gotta live with them. That is the
Mhm,
greatest answer right there. That was the greatest.
mhm.
Okay, like I said, that was a great topic. I love that topic. That was good. I've never heard that discussed. So I'm glad we was able to get that one out there.
Right, right.
Okay. So moving right along to my topic. Okay. My topic.
All right.
Um, a lot of people like to there's a lot of people who feel like they could tell you whatever. Like they feel they could tell you about your situation. So the name of my topic is when to share and when not to share. When to
Mm.
share and when not to share. I think we've all been guilty. I know I have been, where I felt I wanted to share a word or a message, not a word like a biblical word, but you got friends talking to you or
Mhm.
whomever talking to you and you feel like you got something. Oh, let me help you with that. Let me tell you how you should do that. Sometimes
Right.
it's not for you to share your thoughts on how somebody else should do something. Sometimes it's just for you to listen
Mhm.
because I know I found myself like if somebody tells me a problem they're having, especially if they're a friend and they're telling me a problem they're having and I feel like I got the answer or I
Mhm.
think about it for a little bit because it's like a little drama and I think about it and I come up with an answer for them. I
Mhm.
share and they don't do it. And then like
Mhm.
3 months later, they got the same issue. And I'm like, I'm trying to share this to maybe I'm not the one, is what I'm learning to share this. Maybe it's
Mhm.
just for me to listen. And my answer
Mhm.
ain't going, it goes in one ear out the other because it's not time for them to receive how to fix it. And I might not have the
Right.
answer on how to fix it. So I'm learning like
Mhm.
how I have to learn this, but I'm just now learning that sometimes it's not for me to share something with others.
Mhm.
Like just because I don't know if I'm wording it right, but like sometimes I'm learning that people don't receive it well too. Like somebody tell me something and I'll
Mhm.
give them my advice on how they should do it. Like if you can't save your money or if you're like going on dates with somebody and I'm like trying to help you, like this is how you should save your money or this is how you should go about being on a date if you're kind of nervous and you just take it all kinds of wrong or you don't take it at all and then you're still in the same
Right.
situation. And I'm just like, why did you tell me? Like, I don't understand. So I'm learning to be like, listen more, talk less. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not a big deal, but it is a big deal. Because a lot of people, I
Yeah.
know me, be wanting to share. Does that make sense to you, Queen Bee? Am I making
It
sense? Like,
it it makes sense to me. Um
mhm,
it makes sense to me. I'm gonna just say this. I think when somebody comes to you and they share, whatever it is they share with you, you at heart, you are that type of person that's just w- genuinely just want to help the person. You know what I mean? But the
mhm,
way that I guess that it comes out to that person because they're not ready to receive it. Because some people they just like talking. They just like telling their business just to tell their business. They're not looking for no resolution, no nothing. They just yapping, yapping, yapping. But because you care about your friends, you care about anybody. I'm not even just gonna point out just your friends or your family, but you genuinely care about people. So when they come and they express or they venting about their problems, you automatically just want to help and fix it. So I get that part of it. But now you're learning that some people don't want the help and it's not that they want to stay where they at, they're just not ready to receive the righteous way. You get what I'm saying? And not saying that you have all the answers because none of us do. But me knowing you, you going to come in the righteous way, So I will, what I'm saying, even though sometimes, neither one of us, we may not want to listen, but we know that we're not going to steer each other in the wrong direction. So we are more mature than others that we talk to and come in conversations with, and that we will take the time and be like, you know what, maybe she's right. You know what I'm saying? But at the time you wasn't ready to listen. But whereas these
Mhm.
other people, they're not mature enough to even hear what you're saying. And so sometimes, yeah, it is not up to you to try to save them as well, because that's not our job. And you know what? I'm guilty of that too, wanting to save people that I feel that needs to be saved. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, especially if I've been down that same road, it's like, I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to save you. But I gotta also step back too. Like, I'm not God. I can't save you. So all I can do for you, especially if I know that you're not receiving and you're not listening, is I will pray for you. That's it. I will pray whatever it is that God moves and work in your life. And that's it. Because sometimes it's not worth it. Because like you said, it's like, why are you telling me this? You know what I mean? Like, are you telling me this because you want me to help you? You want me to give you advice? Like, what is it? Like, what is your point of even calling me and telling me your problems and your issues? Because automatically, any decent human being is going to want to help you. So I get it. I understand. So
Yeah.
yes, it makes sense. It makes sense.
And I like how you said that, like, you gonna pray for the person who's talking. They might just be running their mouth, telling their business or whatever it is. And you're like, I don't even want to try to help you, not because I'm being malicious. I'm gonna take it to God. I'm gonna pray for you because only He can help you. And on the flip side of that, for those who always get the phone call from people just throwing up their issues on you, or just you don't know that they're just running their mouth, but you really genuinely think, okay, they sound like they're going in a direction. I want to help them. Pray over yourself. Pray over yourself not to allow people to suck out your energy. Because that's what I find myself in. I find myself on the phone sometimes with somebody for up to 30, 40 minutes. And they're just telling me all this drama. And it sounds familiar to me. And I'm trying to help you not go down further in this drama. Let me help you. Let me, as you say, Queen Bee, let me save you from this. You don't gotta go that way. Like, turn. Don't deal with that. Don't deal with that. And I try and I waste my energy. I mean, I don't know I'm wasting it at the time, but once an hour goes by and I'm giving you like, hey, don't do this. You might want to try this, that, and the third. And you really not looking for me to help give you a resolution. You just want to hear yourself say it out loud. Now you don't wasted a good hour of my life and my energy for nothing. And then when I talk to you next time and you in the same position, I got an attitude with you. So it's like, let me pray for those out there who are in my shoes sometimes, that pick up the phone all the time and try to help whoever's on the other line. Pray over yourself to not waste your time. And don't feel bad about it. I'm learning this, Queen Bee. I'm learning this because I pick up that phone.
Yeah.
I sit on that phone and listen. And it's like, I need to learn to stop doing that. And I'm not going to feel bad about it. I'm not going to beat myself up about it. I'm not there to help everybody, and I can't help everybody. I'm going to take it to God in prayer for them and take it to God in prayer for myself as well. Because, sometimes it's not for you to share you with everybody. There's a time to do and there's a time not to do it. So yeah. That was good.
And that was a good one too. And I mean, it's a learning lesson. And like you said, don't feel bad, because you're protecting your peace. That's what it's called. You're protecting your peace. Like you said, people will call you and you would answer. You would generally sit there for a whole hour talking to this person, and like you said, tomorrow they'll be doing the same thing that they were doing yesterday, and then you will be upset. So yeah, if you me and it might sound harsh, it might sound rude to some people, but I'm sorry. Once I've learned how to protect my peace, baby, if I know, the people that's calling you with the nonsense, okay? And so when I see that person calling me, yeah, I don't answer the phone. And I think we had this similar conversation in a previous episode. And I'm so serious about it, because you already know that that spirit is still on that person. You know what I mean? Like, how many times, God got to show you, like, this person is not ready. This person is not ready to be delivered. They're not ready to remove that, whatever that spirit is on them. So I just got to remove myself. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
sometimes a person is not going where you're going. They're still stuck where they're stuck at. And it's okay. You know what I mean? And it's okay for you to, like, say, you know what? If you do answer the phone, just listen, you know, just listen, and that's it. And I know sometimes it's hard for us to just listen because we would be ready to just talk and say, mm-mm. Because guess what?
Yeah.
Once I get off that phone, he or she is still going to be doing the same old thing unless they are ready to make a change, So, yeah.
Yeah. And there's a lot of spirits out there, y'all. There's a lot. There's a spirit for everything. Because some people call you and they got a spirit of beg on their heart. A spirit of beg. They always call you and they need to borrow something. They need to borrow some
Mm-hmm.
money. And it's like, it be so little, you be thinking, like, I don't know. I don't you gotta pray that off of people. Like, you never
Mm-hmm.
know. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
dang. So all the time, every time you call me, you need something. Like, you can't do nothing for yourself. Like, are you
Right.
serious? Like, I mean, I help you one time, okay, but 2, 3, 4, 5
Mm-hmm.
times, like, come on now. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
You always need to borrow some clothes.
Mm-hmm.
You always need a ride. You always need $20. You always need. And it's like, it's so small. I have it and I could give it to you, but am I really doing myself any like good always giving it to you? Because you'll never be
Right.
able to do for yourself. But I always forget when I get that call because I have these things. It's so little. It's not like you asking for so
Mm-hmm.
much. So I fall into that trap. They say a fool is born
Right.
every minute. And it's like, I be falling into that foolish trap. That's why I got to pray it off of me, because I be feeling
Right.
like, oh, well, I could give you, what's your cash app? $20. That ain't gonna hurt me. I got like $60. I could give you 20, you know what I'm saying? But then
Right.
3 weeks later, here you come again. You got $10, you got some,
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
yeah, you pray for all parties involved. That's it. Just pray
Exactly.
that spirit of beg off of them, and pray that spirit of fool off of you. Because that's what it ends up
Amen.
being at the end of it. Yeah, amen. That's it right there. So that wasn't too deep, but it was a good topic. It was a good
Yes, it
topic.
was.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
sometimes we
so
gotta have fun topics. We can get deep and serious, at times, but these type of topics they need to be talked about too, because at the end of the day, it's fine, it's a little juicy, but at the end of it all, there's God for that. It always
yeah,
tied back around to God, okay?
yeah,
So yeah. But
yeah.
but yeah, these were two great topics.
They were. And like you said,
Mhm.
there's God for that. Every situation out there, no matter how big or small, take it to God, because you need help, in everything you
Mhm.
do. So, like you said, yes, there's God for that. This was a fun topic. Bring it back around, take it to God in prayer, because you'll be that fool all the time, or you'll be listening to everybody else judge your relationship all the time, and it's like, just take it to God so you can get clarity and silence the noise. Period.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
yeah, so I guess on that note, we can wrap up this episode.
Yes,
Yeah.
we can. This was great. I thank you all for tuning in with us today. And we pray that this blesses one of you guys that's watching today, or all of you guys that's watching. And if y'all find yourself in these situations where you have a friend or a co-worker or whoever that likes to call and vent and they don't want no change, like, let us know how you dealt in that situation. Are you still in it to give advice and still, basically get a headache from helping a person and not willing and not willing to take a baby? Listen, you do get a headache through the whole, like, you be like, oh my god, you get off the phone, you be like, oh my gosh, I got a migraine, I need to so are you
Yes.
still in it, or have you, removed yourself from the situation and you just, take it to God and you pray for your friend or your coworker or your family member? Leave it down in the comments. And yeah, let us know, do you agree with gender roles? Do you still believe, the traditional ways, back in the 50s, where the woman stays home and cook and the husband goes out? Or do you believe in, the new way, work you do? How are they going to say the new way? But do you believe in the way of just doing what works for you and your household? So yeah, but anything you want to add?
Yes, please share There's God for That with your friends
Mhm.
on your platforms, and please like, click, and subscribe and hit the bell so that you are notified every time we drop a new episode. We thank you so much for tuning in with us and for growing our channel. We have subscribers and we are thankful to those who have already subscribed. So on that note, until next week, we'll see you for There's God for That.
Bye, y'all.